You're watching Special Report. On tonight's programme, we continue our countdown to the London Olympics. Every athlete who competes at this summer's Games has a personal story to tell, but few will be as compelling as that of Luol Deng. From war-torn Sudan to the streets of Brixton and on to Chicago. On a basketball odyssey, Deng has met and overcome many hurdles on his way to global superstardom. Later this month, he'll face one more when he lines up with the rest of Team GB.
He is Barack Obama's favourite basketball player and arguably Britain's most successful sportsman in the US. Luol Deng plays for the Chicago Bulls and is representing Britain at this summer's London Olympics. It is a remarkable rise for the refugee from Sudan.
I always believed that, I could play at the highest level. I never knew how good I could be. I still don't know that. But just, like I said, it was just fun. So, I didn't really look, too far ahead. I just made sure I was having fun and just playing.
Deng was born in troubled Sudan, where he lived until the age of 5 when his family fled the civil war, fearing for their lives. He headed to Egypt with his 8 siblings, while his parents went to Britain to seek political asylum. 4 years later, they were reunited in South London as refugees.
This shaped me to, to be who I am. At the end of the day, when you step on a basketball court, all that doesn't really matter. I think when you step off, really what I do on a basketball court kind of brings the attention to, what I've been through or where I came from.
Brixton's very own now, killing it in the NBA, who's a part of Team GB. Brixton, make some noise for Mr. Luol Deng. Brixton, Luol Deng back in Brixton!
The 6'9" star has been visiting the area where he started playing.
Always try your best. Always try your best. Just stay humble. For a long time, I always wanted, basketball to get more attention. I just think that there's a lot of talent here and a lot of kids that love to play the sports and it could make a big difference. And basketball is growing all over the world, especially in Europe. And we have the talent to, to put kids out there and develop their skills to be one of the best countries at it.
Watch, look at it, sprinting. All right, you go hard, you don't wait. Let's go.
Jimmy Rogers coached Deng at the Brixton Top Cats every Wednesday and Friday night. It was in this hall that Deng played his first basketball. He spent 5 years at the club and still visits.
Well, there's one story I remember very clearly is when he was 11, I gave him a weighted jacket, 20-pound weighted jacket. At the end of practice, handed it back to me, and I said, "You want me to carry it?" No, you could carry it around. And that summer, we had summer camp, and summer camp was in West Norwood. He lives in South Norwood, and he ran to practice and ran back. That's 8 miles with a 20-pound weighted jacket on every day. And it's that kind of enthusiasm or dedication or commitment or focus which is the reason he's in the NBA. And now, of course, he's a superstar. He's a superstar. 10 years before he made the NBA, Michael Jordan came here. And Michael, when the press interviewed Michael Jordan, you can imagine the press, and he said, "Well, how do you think about here?" And Jordan said, "You'll get your first NBA player from here." 10 years later, he was drafted by the Chicago Bulls, ironically.
It just makes me think that basketball can go further than England. And just, knowing that he's from Brixton, that's what makes me want to come here. So I just want to do the same as him and get into the WNBA.
I think at quite a young age, I looked up to him. He came from a place like Brixton, which was quite rough. And that he managed to make it to such high level is pretty impressive.
I think he's a great inspiration. I've met him a few times, going to his camp and stuff, and he helps the club a lot. I think from him starting here to go into the NBA as a big superstar, it's a very big inspiration.
Another all-star and former Chicago Bulls player has been in Brixton helping Deng promote the sport. Scottie Pippen won the NBA title 6 times and Olympic gold twice.
I love Luol. You know, he's one of my favorite players. He's been a great player for the Bulls for the past 9 seasons, and you know, this season he was an all-star. You know, he's a prime example of a guy that, you know, continues to work hard, never satisfied. You know, being you know, a guy from here, obviously he's put in a lot of work, and you know, he's just one of those guys that is truly you know, one who's experienced what it takes to go all the way. And you know, he came up in an area where, you know, basketball didn't look that bright for him, but he worked hard at it. He put his time in, and you know, he's one of the great players in our game today.
In October 2006, Deng became a British citizen in a ceremony alongside his brother Aju. It was at this time that he started to make a name in America. He joined the Chicago Bulls when he was 19. Now he's so famous, he can't leave his house without a disguise. He's the first ever Brit to be picked for an NBA All-Star game, and he's on first-name terms with President Obama.
We went to the White House and we got a chance to meet with him and sit down with him and get to talk to him a little bit. So that was a great experience.
And he says that you're his favourite player.
Yeah, I think, you know, a lot of people mistake it when he says that. You know, I think, I know he likes, you know, he's a big Chicago Bulls fan and he likes what I do on the court, but he just, you know, I'm his favorite because what I do off the court also.
Deng's used his fame and status to set up a foundation to help children in Africa.
I came here to London, to England as a refugee with my family. So I always, you know, it's always been a part of me to give back. I always, you know, since I was young, I said that if I ever get the opportunity to give back, I would, and that's what my foundation does.
Deng is back in London this summer for the Olympic Games. The 2012 ambassador is Britain's biggest basketball star.
I'm able to do everything, you know. I think you'll be able to see me play in the different positions throughout the game. Hit jump shots or drive for layups or make, you know, passes. You know, I just grew up playing in a lot of different positions, so, you know, I'm capable of just playing everywhere.
They'll be making history as the first British basketball team to compete at the Olympics since 1948. Deng has put his £45 million contract with the Chicago Bulls in danger to represent Great Britain. The Bulls wanted him to have surgery on his wrist this summer.
I think, you know, I had the injury, and the injury, you know, I could have had a surgery. Doesn't mean it's the end of the world. My wrist feels great. It's just one of those things that keeps coming up, but you know, from the start, I wanted to be a part of the Olympics. If I was badly injured, I wouldn't be playing or I wouldn't be practicing.
He's an incredible kid. He's got all the right values. He's unselfish, which is pretty remarkable when your best player is also unselfish. He's a very versatile player, which means we can play him in several different positions. So it's like getting 2 or 3 players in one.
He's engaging personality, great guy. You know, very selfless, caring, you know, he's funny, you know, he's very, very humble and very down to earth. And you can see why he's achieved so much on the court, because he's came from humble beginnings, and you can just tell by the way he approaches the game.
Deng is hoping the Games put British basketball in the spotlight. Participation has fallen in the last 10 years, as has grassroots funding.
No, it's very disappointing because the talent is there. You know, the talent is there and it's just being wasted. I just feel like, you know, it's a lot of kids out there that, you know, are not necessarily involved in a lot of activities. And basketball is just, you know, a sport that can be added, you know, for kids to try out and try their talent and spend time doing it. But it's just not there. But, you know, when you look all over Europe and the world, basketball is a growing global sport, and we have the talent for it. You know, so I really hope in the future, or at least this Olympic, you know, will change everyone's opinion.
There isn't a purpose-built basketball court in London today. The year of the Olympics, there's one they're playing in, they're going to pull it down. That kind of thing is. So the legacy for basketball is very, yes, I know it's hard to believe.
You know, I love basketball and I'm playing with friends that I grew up with. And, you know, this is a chance to play in the Olympic and win. That's the bottom line.
Deng says an increase in basketball participation would be the perfect way to repay a nation that's given him so much.
Well, we'll keep you up to date with how Luol and the rest of the team get on, and their first game is on the 29th of July. That's it for tonight's programme. Next week, the Olympic countdown continues. We're live from our Olympic studio from Stratford with Olympic champion Sally Gunnell and two-time gold medalist Ed Moses. That is next Monday from 7:30.
Watch all 6 Sky Sports channels on your mobile and online.